live session, 5 talking stage mistakes you must not repeat in 2026. I don't know about you, but I'm so excited about what 2026 holds for all of us, really, right? Everybody's excited about a new year. But if you don't learn from the mistakes of the past, you will repeat the same mistakes in the new year and just end up in a cycle, right? You just keep going through the same old cycle. And that is why this webinar is so strategic for the end of the year, so that you will learn 5 talking stage mistakes you must not repeat in 2026. You must not repeat these mistakes in 2026. So please make sure you have a note, you have a pen, you're jotting down so that you can learn these things, right? A little art keeping, first of all, like I like to say, I'm not here today to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to tell you the truth that will prepare you for the love you desire in 2026. I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. If true love leading to a happy marriage is your desire, then settle in here, right? But if it is emotional pampering you want, or someone to tell you, oh, it's not you, it's them, all men are scam, etc., you will not find it here, right? These are the mistakes that are keeping you in a cycle of disappointment and heartbreaks, literally. I'm very careful with my words. I'm not saying these are the mistakes that are keeping you single. They might be keeping you single because, by making these mistakes, you are blocking off the right suitors, right? But they are literally keeping you in a cycle of disappointment and heartbreak. So at least you want to be healed. You want to be whole for you to be ready to meet the man that God has for you, right? So you may agree, you may not agree. But if talking stages have not been working for you so far, why don't you listen to those of us that got happily married without a talking stage, right? So if talking stages have not been working for you, why not listen to somebody, right, who got married happily without a talking stage, right? So the Bible says in Jeremiah 6:16, if you're familiar with me, like I can't do without scriptures, even when I'm talking about love and dating. Stand ye in the ways and see, and ask for the whole path, where the good way is, and walk in it. Then you will find rest for your souls. Stand in the ways and see. Ask for the old path. Where is the good way? And do what? Walk in it. And what will you have? Rest for your soul. So if your soul has been weary from talking and talking and talking with nothing to show, it is time for you to stop and ask, where is the old way? Where are the good parts? Let me walk in it so I can have rest for my soul. So if you're ready for commitment, you're tired of careless conversations, then this is for you. So what is a talking stage? What is a talking stage? If you're here, I momentarily turned off the chat because I know that some people, unscrupulous fellows, they come in here and they start to say, a host of stuff that are unnecessary, right? So that's why I turned off the chat, but you can still hear me. So that is all good, right? So what is a talking stage? People have defined it as this in-between phase where a guy and a girl are talking often, usually by text messages or phone calls, but haven't committed to each other. Hence the name talking stage. So they are literally doing what? Talking. Now listen to me very carefully. This stage is a very fertile ground for time wasting. Please take note. A talking stage is what? A very fertile ground for time wasting. It leads to series of disappointments, and at the very worst, it leads to a friends with benefit situation. Before you know it, he hasn't committed, but you've gotten so emotionally intimate that you're already doing stuff, right? We should not define those stuff here. You know what those stuff mean. So you're either wasting your time or you're just setting yourself up for disappointment or a friend with benefit situation. If you don't learn how to navigate this phase, you are setting yourself up for relationship failures. You will be stuck in a cycle of men who are not ready or serious about a commitment yet, or who don't even intend to commit to you. They just need someone to fill in the quiet or the boring of their lives. So they're just bored. You just need someone to be making noise or to be chit-chatting with. I know girls like to talk, right? So they're looking for who is the available girl for me to just be chit-chatting with, right? If you've experienced men like this, you know what I'm talking about. They leave you wondering at the end of the day, why did he even approach me, right? Why did this person even approach me? Because it just seems to be like a cycle of talking and talking and talking, and we don't even know where we are going, right? Mistake number one. Now we're getting into the heart of the matter. Mistake number one, you're focusing on only one person. Yes, I said it. That's why I said Christian singles are always like, wait, what? You should have more than one. I remember when I was teaching this, somewhere, and the lady, asked me a question. She's like, wait, no, ma, you don't really know what talking stage is. It's very intimate. It's very this. Why should you have more than one? You can't have more than one. Yes, I said it. And I will tell you why soon. The first mistake they are making is having only one. Why do you have only one? This is the very first mistake that leads you down the spiral of talking stage mistakes. Like once you get on this mistake, you are most likely going to keep going down the rest of all the mistakes. It is the foundational mistake. And while it may sound anti all you've ever known about talking stages, because I don't know, you may have listened to several people talk about it, but this is my opinion, this is my view, right? It is the first mistake that makes you vulnerable. This mistake is the first mistake that makes you vulnerable. And the reason you are making this mistake is simple. You think a talking stage is something. Come closer. A talking stage is nothing. The reason you are making this mistake of having only one is because you think it is something. A talking stage is what? It's nothing. It's friendship and nothing more. The path to lasting love is simple as A, B, and C. Let me spell it to you. Is what? Friendship to courtship to marriage. Simple. All this new generational stuff is what is complicating matters for you guys. The path to love is what? Friendship, courtship, marriage. I don't care how many dates you've been on, the kind of conversations you've had, how intimate it is, the gift you've received, etc. If you haven't verbally expressed commitment, you are not committed. If what? If you haven't verbally expressed commitment, you are not committed. I did it when I was in my 20s. I got burned, right? When you are having all those intimate conversations with someone and always being together and talking and talking and talking, at the end of the day, what came out of it? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. The guy told me I wasn't interested in you like that. We were just friends. You were just a friend. And I'm sure many of you have heard those type of statements, right? So don't make lasting decisions under assumptions. You need facts. You need facts to make decisions, especially when it comes to your heart. You need what? Facts. You need verbal facts, verbal commitment to make a decision. So where there has been no expression of exclusive interest or verbal commitment, do not assume that interest or that commitment is coming. It may come, it may never come, but don't assume. Where there has been no what? Expression of exclusive interest or verbal commitment, do not assume that interest or commitment will be stated ever. He is a friend and nothing more. And why should you have only one friend? Why? Like, why should you have only one friend? Your excuse may be that, oh, it's the only one that approached me. And my response to that is still what? Why? Why? Don't you know how to make friends? I'm not saying go and ask people out for a relationship or go and toast people or go and shoot your shot. But literally, you should have friends. You should have what? Friends. Especially if you're single. You should have friends of the same sex, of the opposite sex. That is how to make your single life interesting and healthy and fun, right? And not boring. And I'll get down to how that can be a mistake soon. All right. So if you don't know how to make friends and build connections as a single lady, you need to learn it. You need to what? Learn it. In fact, the more structured of a life you have, the more in need of a system of making friends that you are. The more structured of a life that you live, the more in need of a system of friendships that you have. You need a system whereby you are continually meeting people and making friends. If you are living in a work, home, church triangle, like I used to live some time back, so I know what I'm talking about. Thank God I found my husband when I was in my teenage and early 20s, right? So if you're living in a work, home, church triangle, you need a system of meeting people and making friends, because this is why you are lonely, you are sad, and you're looking for a talking stage to rescue you. This is also why you allow somebody to be talking and talking and talking and talking, and you are waiting for him to commit, because you literally don't have friends. Like, you literally have just only one person of the opposite sex that has expressed an interest in you, that you are talking to or that you are friends with. Please get out there and meet friends. Man was created a social being, made to connect with others. So if you have only one friend, you need to get out there. there's a whole lot of people waiting to bless you and waiting for you to be a blessing to them. And I understand this because most of us were not taught how to make friends as children. Right, it's something I realize, especially now that I'm a mom and I have a daughter who I'm actively teaching how to socialize and how to make friends. For the other one, it comes easy, it comes natural. Oh, she's in preschool and she's telling me, oh, this person my friend, that person my friend, I like this person. I'm like, nobody taught her how to make friends. But for my other child, I have to teach her this is how to make friends. And she's not the only one. There are so many children who don't even know how to make friends. And we grow up as adults who don't know how to make friends and who don't know how to connect with people. I wasn't taught to. I'm learning it. So go out there and learn it, because you shouldn't have only one talking stage, if we're even going to call it that. Because for me, it's just friendship, and you shouldn't have only one friend. And that is why in the relationship mentoring program, I'll put the link in the comments when I enable links, right? And I'll pin it for you. I put them on a positioning challenge because I realized that this is a crucial need. People are in a triangle. Single people are living a triangle of work, home, and church. And even in those places, they are not missing any new people. They are not connecting. They're just going there, fulfilling righteousness, and going back home and being sad, scrolling through social media, liking a few posts, and going to sleep. That's literally the cycle, and you need to break out of it, right? So in that mentoring program, I put them on a 7-day positioning challenge where they are compelled to meet new people. And I don't just tell you what to do, I tell them how to do it. This is how you're going to do it. This is what you're going to do day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. Because you need to expand your circle, you need to build connections, you need to have friends, and generally live a happy, interesting, successful life. Right? So when I put the link, please join the relationship mentoring program. That is one of the things I do there. Mistake number 2. Mistake number 1 is what? Having only one. Mistake number 2, giving relationship benefits by being too available and accessible. Yes, you should be available to build a friendship. Friendship takes time, right? It takes attention. But if someone is beginning to monopolize your time, it will soon control your affections. Write it down. If someone is monopolizing your time, that person will be in control of your affections without necessarily committing to you. Right? And you've seen that. It's happened to you. It's not until somebody asks you out that you begin to like them. It's because you are giving them time. You're giving them access. That's how you begin to like them. You're giving them attention. You're spending the whole day chatting back and forth, and talking and talking. That's why you are stuck in a talking stage. And now you are emotionally attached, you're emotionally involved. You don't know how to pull back, or it is so hard for you to pull back, right? And then you begin to become desperate and say things. And I will get to that later on, right? So time is the currency of life and love. Write it down. What is the currency of life and love? Time. Time is the currency of life and love. Therefore, if someone hasn't expressly expressed interest, accept my grammar. If someone hasn't expressly expressed interest in you, what are you doing? Talking for hours every day. Like literally, what are you doing? And I said, come and ask us who got married without a talking stage. Because before I got married to my husband, or before we were in a relationship rather, we didn't spend hours talking. That benefit is for somebody who has committed to you. Before we started extrapolating and talking for hours and chatting back and forth, he had asked me out. I said yes. And then now we know, okay, we need to talk more so that we can get to know each other more and see if we're a perfect fit for marriage, right? So why are you talking hours upon hours with somebody who hasn't verbally expressed interest in you? You don't need to talk hours on end every day to get to know someone, right? So it's purely a relationship benefit. When you are too available, your heart will soon be on the table. When you're what? When you are too available, your heart will soon be on the table. And the reason why you are too available circles back to mistake number 1. You don't have friends. You don't have friends. You don't have other friends of the opposite sex. It's just that one person, right? So that's why you are too available. You are in a cycle waiting for people to break you out of it. You are in a cycle of loneliness, waiting for someone to break you out of it. Break yourself out. Like become prison break for yourself. Break yourself out and just determine that, you know what, I'm going to get out there and I'm going to make friends, right? So be available. And then be intentionally unavailable to protect your heart. Make new friends. Know when to pull back. Know how to space things, right? To protect your heart, to maintain your mystery, and to subtly communicate to a man that verbal commitment must precede continued intimacy. Are you writing it down? Verbal commitment must precede continued intimacy. You should never give your heart away to someone who hasn't directly and specifically asked for it. You should never do what? You should never give your heart away to someone who hasn't directly and specifically asked for it. Even God, our Almighty Father, said in several scriptures, He said, what? My son, give me your heart. And now I love that scripture so much because He literally said it. What? My son, give me your heart. And you can find that in what? Proverbs 23, verse 26. Very clear, very specific, very direct. That's what you need from any man. He has to verbally request for your act, for your affections, for your commitment before you give it to him. Anything short of that, my dear, he's just a friend, right? And don't give relationship benefits. Don't be accessible. Don't be too accessible. Don't be too available. Mistake number 3, oversharing. Do I have any oversharers in the house? Right? Mistake number 3 is oversharing. Within a few weeks of making a new connection, you're already talking deeply about past relationships, how you were hurt, what they did, how they broke your heart, and all of that. You are giving the wrong guy the playbook of how to hurt you. When you overshare too quickly, you are giving the wrong guy what? The playbook of how to hurt you. Don't do it. Allow people to earn your trust. Trust must be earned. Kindness and respect are freely given, but trust and access must be earned by consistent and continued positive behavior. It's not earned by gifts. It's not earned by data. It's not earned by, I don't know, whatever it is given to you. It's earned by what? Consistent and continued positive behavior. It must be able to keep up. It must be able to keep up character-wise. It must show you who he is. And in that who he is must be acceptable to you for you to give your trust, right? And for you to continue to give access. So trust must be earned, and that takes time. Let people show you who they are over time. Don't just take what people say to you at face value. People can lie, oh. I learned that the hard way. People can lie. People can lie through their noses. People can deceive. At the same time, you don't want to be just this distrustful person. What you want to do is be in the middle and allow people to show you who they are. Get to know people. Give them, an open book. Get to know them. And then let them write what they will on it. Let them show you who they are. And that takes time. That takes what? Time. How do you know if you're oversharing? I'll tell you the 5 levels of conversations. If you've never heard about it before, get your note out and write it down now. Level number 1 is small talk, right? Small talk. And this is what just polite surface level exchanges, like, oh, the weather was cold, it was freezing, it was raining, it was snowing, the traffic was bad on Third Mainland Bridge, blah blah blah. Our course work, I don't like that course is summer, blah blah blah. That teacher, if you're in college, that type of thing. Those are all level 1 conversations, and that's for new acquaintances, really. People you're just getting to meet or just getting to know, or maybe just share something in common. You can have those conversations with them. And again, very soon you find yourself going into level 2 conversations, probably in the same conversation, because level 2 is basically what? Facts and information sharing. Right? Facts and information sharing. Here, talking about basic life details. And in case you're a guy watching this and you don't know how to tell people, like you just go to meet one girl now, and inside you're asking, who is she, where is she from, what kind of family is she from, blah blah. That is just wrong, because you have to start from what? Small talk, from something you have in common. Right? From something you have in common, that happens to you in common, like the weather, like politics, like not even politics is deep, like the weather, like traffic, like schoolwork, that type of thing. That's where acquaintanceship starts from. And in case you don't know how to make friends, this is where it starts from. Look for something in common, right? To talk about, the service was so great. That you heard what that pastor said? Level 1, small talk, right? Level 2, facts and information sharing. So now you're learning about each other, basic life details, right? But you're not connecting emotionally. At this phase, you're talking about work and working conditions, where you live, general occurrences where you live, your family structure. I have so and so siblings. I have 1 sister, 2 brothers, and 1 dad. My dad passed, my mom passed. That type of, my mom did not pass in Jesus' name. My dad passed, and that type of thing. That's what facts and information sharing. And your daily routines. Oh, I usually sleep at 9 p.m. This is where you want to establish little like called boundaries. You've exchanged numbers, right? So I usually sleep at 10 p.m. coming before that time, and I wrote a whole book, 2 blog posts about late night calls and how it can harm you, right? You should go to my blog and read that up. So that's level 2. Level 3 conversation is personal opinions and ideas. So here you are revealing your values and your mindset. So you're talking your mindset about politics, you're talking your mindset about religion, you're talking your mindset about your faith and all of that. You're dating philosophies, relationship philosophies. This is where you want to ask, where are you with relationships, right? You know, are you taking a break? Are you just looking? Are you actively searching? But you're still not going into too deep. You're not asking somebody why did they break up at this phase. That's a level 4 conversation, right? And that's ideally you shouldn't even ask them. They shouldn't share that with you until you two have been able to earn their trust in certain ways. They know that you're not judgmental. So this type of that's why when people meet people and talking still talking about, oh, why you break up, your ex's phone number, that's just way too close too soon. That's just way too deep. And you might even chase a guy away by asking for those information because you're coming across too desperate, right? So level 3 conversations talking about marriage expectations, money principles, your opinions, your ideas, your values. This is where somebody gets to know your values. This is where you get to know someone's values. So this level 3 is robust and you should stay there for a while. But that doesn't mean you're talking every day. It means that every time you talk, you're making it what? Meaningful. You're having meaningful conversations. And I'm writing all about that in my book, Break the Talking Stage Cycle, because people don't even know what to talk about, right? So I'm going to write it all in that book, the kind of conversations that you had, so that you will know you're actually heading somewhere, right? So because this person is still a friend and what? Nothing more. You are building friendship. You're getting to know somebody new, and there's a whole lot to uncover about their ideas and their opinions. The main way to protect your heart, even at this phase of conversation, is what? Control access. The main way to protect your heart is to control access. But where you are too desperate for love, that's where trouble comes in. That's when you start having this type of conversations too quickly. And because you've had them quickly, you think you have to keep talking every day. I like this thumbs up you're giving me. I want to enable comments, but right now I'm not so YouTube savvy. I don't know where to turn it on again. I turned it on because of all those trolls, right? You know, and I don't want to be distracted. So at least give me those thumbs up, keep it coming, and please share. If I'm making sense, the share button is still there. Just share right now to your WhatsApp status, your stories, and all of that, to the groups and all of that, right? So the main way to protect your heart is to control access. The main way to protect your heart is to control access. So at this phase also, in level 3 conversations, you're not just listening to what they say. You are observing their actions, their choices. You are listening for life examples that back up their beliefs. So when they are telling you this is what they believe, don't just listen to that one they have said. Listen to the examples. Because people like to tell stories, right? People like to talk about themselves. People, in case you don't know, people like to, when you just ask them, if you know how to ask questions, people will talk about themselves and they will tell you stories and they will give you examples. Listen to those stories. That is those stories that tell you exactly what they want, what they believe. Not just if they say, oh, I believe in God. If somebody believes in God, they will most likely have a backup story of how God showed up for them, of what God did for them, how he came through, how that has informed their other decisions. That's what you want to be paying attention to. So that's level 4 conversation. I mean, level 3 conversation. And you should stay there. You should stay there for a while, right? To really get to know that person. Level 4 conversation. This is still mistake 3. Level 4 conversation, you're talking about feelings and emotions. This is now where you're talking about past relationship pain, disappointments, fears triggered by experiences, emotional struggles, and all of that. This is where you get emotional. This is where you talk about emotions. In level 3, you are just talking about your opinions and ideas. You don't need emotions for all of that one. You're talking about what you believe in. Literally, nobody gets emotional talking about what they believe in as such, especially when it's talking about politics or dating philosophies or expectations or money principles and all of that, right? So level 4, you are getting emotional. You're talking about past pain. You're talking about disappointment. You're talking about fear. Rule number 1 in level 4 conversations, don't share this over the phone. Unless the person is out of state, out of the country, and having a long-term relationship. If the person is in the same state with you, and you are getting into level 4 conversations, and you have never met the person, why? Like, just why? Because you need to be able to read body language to discern how that person is really taking what you're saying, right? A friend that you have known, that you have never met, you are now revealing your fears to that person. It's wrong, right? It's very wrong. Before you engage in a level 4 topic with anyone, ask yourself, how has this person consistently showed me that he deserves my trust? Before you go deep, into any emotional conversation, ask yourself, how? Not just, has this person earned my trust? You may most likely just answer yes to that. You need to ask yourself, how? How has this person earned my trust? How has this person consistently showed me that he deserves my trust? And that's where people make mistakes. Like women especially, it's so easy for us to just assume and just make assumptions to ourselves. I remember when my husband and I were in a relationship, one of the things I did that used to seem too serious was that I had a notebook where I wrote about him. And in that notebook, when I want to ask myself, does this person really have the values that I want? So I ask myself, is he diligent? Most likely you will say yes. If the person has a job, you will say yes, right? But you don't really know. But when you ask yourself, how do I know? Then your brain is forced to think on the experiences you've had with that person that helps you to arrive at that conclusion so that you can base your decisions on what? Facts. Base your decision on facts, not just feelings, right? A word is enough for the wise. If you need to talk about emotions and feelings, if you are bored, bring a same-sex friend, right? Don't talk to that your friend who is in quotes a talking stage, right? Level number 5, conversation. We are talking about needs and vulnerabilities. This is where you want to talk about childhood wounds, right? This is where you talk about childhood wounds. This is where you talk about, oh, you were abused or that type of thing. You don't tell that in a level 2 or even a level 3, somebody you've only shared facts and feelings with, and then you just begin to onboarding. No, you don't onboarding to people like that. This is where you talk about fears of abandonment, rejection, insecurities, your desires for the future. And this should be reserved for someone who has made a verbal commitment, not any random friend or intimate friend, not even an intimate friend, which you call a talking stage. These conversations, level 5 conversation, is reserved for someone who has made a commitment. You don't open up your scars unless the person has committed to you, unless the person has said, I want to take this next level. I want to be exclusive. I want to be serious with you. I want to marry you. Then you can say, okay, yes, that's good. There are some things that you should know. And if that person genuinely wanted to marry you, those things will not be a big deal. Why? Because they are your past. Stop discussing level 4 and 5 topics with people that have only given you level 2 commitments. Stop going too deep too soon. Guard your heart, the Bible says. It's not talking about your atrials and your ventricles. It's talking about your thoughts and your feelings. When the Bible says guard your heart, it's saying guard your thoughts, guard your emotions, guard your feelings, right? Guard the talks that easily fuels your feelings. Let people know what they can't and can't call you. Let people know what they can and can't say to you. Somebody that is a friend, you might call him a talking stage, like I've said, is a friend, calling you babe, calling you, no, say no. Right? You can say no, don't call me that, we're just friends, right? Then if he wants to be more than friends, by you saying we're just friends, he will get the memo that, okay, I need to make a commitment to get the right to call her that, right? So don't make the mistake of going too deep emotionally before there is clarity relationally. I'll say that again, write it down. Don't make the mistake of going deep emotionally before there is clarity relationally. You must clarify things. You must know where things stand before you go too deep. And the main way to protect your heart is how? Control access. If you forget any other thing I say today, don't forget that statement. The main way to control your heart is what? The main way to protect your heart is to control access. Mistake number 4, right? What was mistake number 3? Is oversharing. Mistake number 4, not looking out for signs of commitment, just going with the flow, right? You're not looking out for signs of commitment, you're just going with the flow. Many singles make this mistake, especially in their 20s. Let me tell you one quote I heard from a movie that has stayed with me forever, literally. And it's from Prison Break. If you ever watched Prison Break, maybe if you're in your 20s, maybe you didn't watch Prison Break. If you're 30s, maybe you probably did. Sucre, Sucre in Prison Break told Michael Scofield, he said, men and women can't be friends. Men and women can't be friends, and I've never forgotten it. But if you're thinking, oh, but you just said we should make friends, I will tell you the difference now. Because truly, men and women can't be friends. Let me tell you why. When a new acquaintance comes into your life, within 6 months, it should either fall between 2 categories, either a keep up or a check up. Are you taking notes? If it's a friend of the opposite sex, within 6 months, you should fall into 2 categories. It's either a keep up friend or a check up friend. A keep up friend is somebody you are literally keeping up with, like you're keeping in step. You're sharing what happened to you this week, what happened to you last week, what happened to you today. Like, you are keeping up. A checkup friend is every once in a while you check up, right? So if you're ever going to have a male friend for the duration of your life, love, and marriage, because I still have some male friends as a married woman, we're not keep up friends. We're check up friends. So every once in 9 months or 1 year, I'm like, hey, what's up? Hey, bro, how far are you doing? How's family? That's a checkup friend. And you can have many checkup friends, because you need them for life, you need them for business, you need them for ideas and gifts and all of that. Meet their families and what they call, maybe when their kids and your kids get together for playgroups, right? That type of thing. So you can have checkup friends, but men and women can't be friends as per keep up friends. You can't be keeping up every day. It's only a matter of time before emotions, get into the mix, right? So one rules in this mistake number 4: you shouldn't be the one trying to keep up. Yes, go out there, make friends, keep meeting people, keep increasing your circle, because you need them for your life, right? For business, for connections, and all of that. But know when to pull back. You shouldn't be the one ringing. You shouldn't be the one texting. You shouldn't be the one trying to keep up. Make friends, but the responsibility of keeping male friends shouldn't be on you, or shouldn't even be on one person alone. You must know when to pull back, right? If the person is not returning the friendship, exits, right? Pull back. You must know when to pull back. 2, if he is actively keeping up with you, you can see the efforts. Because I'm not talking about timelines here. You can see the effort. You should either control availability or seek clarity. So sometimes you pick up, sometimes you don't pick up, right? You space it. You get to know people gradually. And I talk about all of that in the talking stage. Those innuendos that maybe you were not taught, but you need to learn, because that's what's going to help you in love and life, right? So, and I think in my book, my free ebook, Shoot Your Shot, I talk about all that as well, right? You can download that. I'll put all the links in the bio to this video or in the comments when I enable it, right? So don't just keep going with the flow. It can waste your time. Look out for signs of commitment early. Look out for signs, and there are early signs. There are early signs that you'll be know that this person is not just a friend, he wants more, he's going to ask for more. There are early signs. And I'm going to, all of that you will find in the entire book, Break the Talking Stage Cycle. Like I said, this is just giving you an intro, right? So look for signs early so that you can know if this person is a keep up friend or a check up friend, right? And when you register for the relationship mentoring program, you get Break the Talking Stage Cycle, the whole book for free, including all these things I'm telling you. Mistake number 5 that you make in talking stage is that you give off desperation. You are giving off desperation, and these are the signs. Number 1, asking, where is this going? Before there is continued consistent effort. Please write this down. First consistency, then clarity. First what? First consistency, then clarity. It is when you have seen consistent effort to keep up with you, it is at that point you ask and seek clarity. It's not because somebody just showed an interest with you in you and is just beginning to talk to you. He hasn't started keeping up. It's just beginning. You are instantly asking, where is this going? You're saying that person, okay, me, I just want marriage. I just want marriage. I'm desperate for marriage, and that's all I want. I'm not even interested in getting to know you, to know whether you are the right person or you are the right fit, right? So please don't give up desperation. That question, it should be asked, but it should be asked at the right time, right? When you ask it too early, you are giving up desperation. Number 2, accepting an undefined relationship for too long, right? So you don't want to be on this side. There are two extremes. You don't want to be on either side. You want to have a balance, right? Accepting undefined relationship for too long, it shows that you would rather keep him as anything than lose him completely. It shows that you are willing to accept crumbs. You are willing to take scraps, and you shouldn't be, right? Stand for something so that you don't fall for anything. Number 3, if you ignore inconsistencies, it shows that you are desperate. You will take anything, right? Inconsistencies like slow replies. He replies you after 24 hours. He replies you after 48 hours, or even after 72 hours. Like, literally, did they kidnap him? That's what I always ask. Did they kidnap him? Right? Inconsistencies like slow replies, hot and cold behavior. In this case, is either unsure about you or is unsure about his readiness. Is either unsure about you or is unsure about his readiness. Like I said in previous videos, he has other options. That's why it's inconsistent. He has other options, right? So that type of person is a checkup friend at best. Just leave him there. But don't burn bridges. Don't send one damning message and blah 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 because you're messaging that person for business connection, right? So don't burn bridges. Just leave the person as what a checkup friend. That's who he is. Number 4, that sign that shows that you're desperate. You are over initiating everything. Text, calls, plans. You are the one reviving dead chats, right? These all comes from prolonged solitude and loneliness. Please make friends. When you make friends, that's why I said that mistake number 1, I told you, is the foundation mistake. When you make friends, you will not feel a need to be over initiating everything with that particular person who is not responding, right? So get out there and make friends. Mistake 5 that shows desperation is what? No, not mistake. This is mistake 5. See, there are so many bullet points. That's why the whole thing will be in a book for you, right? Another thing that shows desperation is what? Excessive availability. Replying instantly at all hours. That shows that you are already in too deep. You've been waiting for the text. So the second that text drops like this, blah, 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 you are replying, right? When you are excessively available, it shows desperation. You are rearranging your schedule immediately to make accommodations. Please have standards, have boundaries, have routines, guard your heart. And you guard your heart by controlling access. The next sign of desperation is what? You are performing for attention. You're trying hard to impress. Men can sense these things. When you're trying hard to impress, men can sense these things. If you are making him the center too quickly, you are neglecting friends, routines, just to fit him in. You're making him the center of your life too quickly. It risks of desperation. If you're chasing after pulling back, right? Double texting, over explaining. The reason I said that is because now the reason I said, like, why? Right? If you are double texting and over explaining, you are increasing efforts. When you sense him pulling back, it shows that you are desperate for love. And it's understandable from a female perspective. And I know that you desire love, but if you're desperate for it, you will most likely fall into the trap of the wrong people, right? So a man can only give you clarity when he has it. Let the man figure things out. So if he pulls back, and that's another thing that I covered, I don't know if it's in the mentoring program or I think it was in premarital counseling. When a man pulls back, let him pull back. He's trying to clarify for himself whether he wants to chase you, whether he wants to pursue you. So, and he cannot give you that clarity until he has it. When you are the one now trying to pull him back or trying to get him back, you are robbing him of the clarity that he needs to pursue you. So write this down. A man can only give you clarity when he has it. So if he pulls back, let him pull back. Don't chase him after pulling back. If a man has gone ghost, like I like to say, why are you trying to resurrect the dead? Are you Jesus Christ? Right? If a man has gone ghost on you, why are you trying to raise the dead? Let him be ghost. When he decides to resurrect himself, he will resurrect himself if he's serious, right? Now, I told you 5 mistakes, right? Mistake number 6, as Jara, I don't want to leave it unsaid, is allowing boredom to dictate when you talk. Like I said, not having friends, not having only one is the crucial mistake you're making. And I know by now I've shown it to you, right? How it leads to several other mistakes. Allowing boredom to dictate when you talk. Build an interesting life for yourself. Please build an interesting life for yourself. You may be single in your late 20s, in your 30s. That is time you will never get back. Do you realize that? Marriage will come, right? It will come. But when it comes, you can't go back and relive your single years because marriage will present itself with fresh responsibilities and fresh opportunities and fresh challenges, right? So today is what you have. Now is what you have. Build an interesting life for yourself. Don't allow boredom dictate when you talk. Don't allow boredom keep making you go back to people who have even treated you bad. Don't allow boredom make you start talking to ChatGPT like you guys said in the singles group. Like, build an interesting life for yourself. You only have this one. You only have this one life. You only have these 20s. You only have this early 30s. It's not coming back. Like, time will not come back. No matter what you do, you're not going to go back. Today is what? December 18, 2020. You're not going to go back to January 1, 2025, right? This is 2025, December 18. You're not going to go back to January 1. That time is gone. If you spent it in endless talking stages and moping and being sad is gone. So please, build an interesting life for yourself. Have a structure to pursue your goals. Connect with same-sex friends. Make new opposite sex friends. Open up and enjoy your life, right? Open up and do what? Enjoy your life. And that is one thing that makes you even more attractive. It makes you even, everybody wants to be a part of someone who has something going for them, right? Who is always boisterous and happy and just literally enjoying their life. Doesn't mean that they don't get sad, but they have a plan. And that's another thing I teach them in the relationship mentoring program. I help them to draft an emotional needs plan, right? So that because your needs will come, you are human, you will feel down, you will feel lonely. How are you going to meet those needs? So we draft each person. I help them draft a strategy. They draft their own strategy. I guide them through it. I review it. I make it specific and measurable so that when you begin to feel lonely, you already have a plan in place to meet your own needs. And when your needs are met, then you are able to live freely. Then you are able to live happily. Then you are able to open up and just enjoy your life. And just enjoy your life, pursue purpose, and maximize your singleness, right? So don't make mistake number 6. Don't get into a talking stage out of boredom, right? Build an interesting life so that even the conversations you will have when you begin to have them, they'll be interesting, they'll be purposeful, they'll be structured, they'll make sense, right? So that's the 6 mistakes that you are making, that you probably made in 2025, that you must not repeat in 2026. Again, like I said, I know you might have forgotten mistake number 1, which is the one I hammered on. Don't have only one, or you've forgotten 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. Everything is going to be in that book, Break the Talking Stage Cycle. I'm going to go deep and tell you even the kind of conversations you should have when you are having these friends. I don't even want to call it talking stage. It's nothing. It doesn't exist, right? So your first step to do, join the relationship mentoring program. If you haven't joined it, join it now, because that is the structure. That is where you get the structure and the clarity you need to build a love life, right? To get the kind of love that you need, that you deserve. You first need the structure of how to go about it, really. That is where you get it in the relationship mentoring program. Then you get the free books, right? The 2 books for free. After the mentoring program the launch is over, you won't get it free anymore. You have to buy them. You have to buy Break the Talking Stage Cycle. You have to buy Position for Marriage, which is another whole entity of topic, right, that I wrote about, right? So, and then you get 7 weeks of mentoring. Imagine 7 whole weeks. Every week I'm coming to you, I'm showing up like this, and I'm teaching you, I'm instructing you, I'm guiding you, I'm telling you what to do and what not to do, right? So in these weeks, you'll build confidence. That's one thing many of the singles tell me about, like their confidence skyrockets. You have clarity for maximizing your singleness and succeeding as a single and just living a fulfilling life for yourself. You heal from past hurts. You get principles on biblical dating, how to go about dating, right? You get reflections so that you can think through onto the solutions that you need. Transformative tools that you begin to practice immediately. I make sure they have transformative tools so that it's not just all talk. Right now, all I did to you is talk. You were inspired, you were blessed, but what's your to-do, right? That's where the mentoring program comes in. They get to-dos so that you can implement what you have learned and you can instantly begin to see transformation and growth in your life. Registration for the mentoring program ends in 2 weeks. In less than 2 weeks even. Save your spot now. I'll share the link in the comments on this post, in the bio, in this video, and on the singles group, right? Save your spot now. Now, if this blessed you, don't just leave. Don't say thank you. I've disabled comments. Just hit the share button. Just hit the share button to your WhatsApp status, your friends, your WhatsApp groups. Just hit the share button. No one should go into 2026 having one talking stage for 4 months, then they broke up. Then they have another one for 4 months, then they broke up. Because it's kind of like a breakup. They are so intimate, they broke up, right? Have another talking stage for the next 6 months, and then the whole 2026 is gone like that for talking stages. No meaningful conversation, nothing to show for it. Why? It's wasting your time. And beyond just wasting your time, it's hurting you. And the more scars you have, the more ineligible you are for a whole and healed suitor. Because you have so much scars, you come across as defensive, you come across as desperate, because you have been hurt so bad. So these people are not just wasting your time. They are literally robbing you of opportunities. They are robbing you of future opportunities for love, for lasting love. Because by the time they hurt and break your heart over and over again, you know, you need a whole and healed you to connect with another whole and healed individual. So don't let them do that to you. So please don't let them do that to your friends either. Share this group. The only way to say thank you is to what? Share. Share to your status, share to your story, share to someone that you know. These are the talking stages you must not repeat. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, subscribe, because more practical and applicable relationship teachings is coming your way. I hope this blessed you. I said I'll keep it short and simple, under 45 minutes. And this 45 minutes, I know you learned something. If you're from the singles group, come and tell me what you learned in the singles group. Have a lovely, lovely rest of your day. God bless you.